All right, so the recording has started. Yeah, you're welcome, Emmanuel from Uganda. You're welcome. The recording has started, and let me move us along here. Okay, all right. So the first thing I just want to go over is the timeline so that we know where we are and where we're going. So this is the timeline. We have done a couple of activities, and currently we're on our last workshop before the deadline of phase 1.
Donc, nous allons faire un rapide review de notre calendrier de compétition. Donc, nous avons effectué depuis mars plusieurs workshops et nous allons maintenant faire notre dernier workshop qui va clôturer la phase numéro 1 de la compétition.
Yeah, and so the deadline for phase 1 would be on the 19th of June. That's next week. That's next week, Wednesday. All right, so next week, Wednesday, by the end of the day, you need to submit your phase 1 solutions. And I'm going to talk today about how or what you should be submitting.
Donc, la date butoir pour l'envoi des solutions pour la phase numéro 1 se fera le 19 juin. Et aujourd'hui, nous allons prendre le temps de discuter sur comment et pourquoi vous devez envoyer vos solutions.
But today I'm also going to talk about, I'll also be creating an opportunity for you to ask questions. If you have some technical questions that you need some more feedback on, I would be able to provide you feedback to any technical questions or any challenges that you're having. All right, so I'm going to do that today as well. So we have room for me to go over the submission guidelines, but then also some time for us to go over what to submit. I'm sorry, questions that you have. All right.
Donc, vous aurez la possibilité de poser des questions sur quelques technical questions que vous aurez par rapport à la compétition et
All right, so the first thing I want us to do though is to take a brief poll. So I'm going to activate the poll now. There are just 3 quick questions to get a sense of where people are on the competition status of the tasks that you're working on. All right, so please take 2 minutes to fill it out. I just launched it now, so you should get a notification on your screen with the questions. Just 3 simple questions.
donc nous allons ouvrir un sondage rapide pour pouvoir prendre un record de toutes les personnes qui sont actives maintenant. Donc, vous avez 3 questions rapides à répondre. Et normalement, il y a une page qui devrait apparaître devant vous. Vous avez 2 minutes pour répondre. Merci.
So I think we have, oh good, thank you everyone. I think everyone has filled out the short poll. We have 5 questions. I'm sorry, we have five people and we have 5 responses. So thank you. That was very good. That was very fast.
Donc, merci à tous. Nous avons réussi à avoir 5 réponses. Donc, merci beaucoup d'avoir répondu.
All right, so now I will share the results just so that we can look over it quickly, so you can see. I think you should be able to see the results right now. And it looks like number 1, everybody has set up their PC, which is great.
Donc, normalement, là, vous devrez voir les résultats du sondage. Et il semblerait que pour la question 1, tout le monde a déjà réussi à configurer leur ordinateur.
But for task 1 and task 2, it looks like more people are in the area of making progress on task 1, but they need some further support. And then task 2, more people have made good progress, but some people are still in the starting phase. So there's a good distribution there.
Donc, il semblerait que pour la tâche 1 et la tâche 2, les gens soient toujours en phase de progrès et que vous avez toujours besoin de support pour la tâche numéro 2. Donc, on comprend que certaines personnes maintenant sont en train de commencer à entrer dans la tâche numéro 2, ce qui fait une bonne répartition sur les tâches.
Yeah, so I think that we will have some time after I go through what to submit to, if people that are saying they need support, if you need some support, if you have some questions, you have some time to ask those questions, so I can provide some feedback or some support to you, and then maybe you can try and wrap up task 1 or task 2 between now and Wednesday. But please, if you can only submit for task 1, that is fine, or only for task 2, that is fine. All right, so if you're currently working but you don't feel like you can meet the deadline for task 1 and 2, please feel free to submit for only one, the one that you can spend your time to complete. All right.
Donc, après avoir expliqué le but du workshop d'aujourd'hui, si vous avez des questions par rapport aux tâches numéro 1 et tâches numéro 2, on pourra prendre le temps de répondre à ces questions juste après avoir fait le but principal de la session d'aujourd'hui. Et en ce qui concerne l'envoi des solutions, c'est-à-dire si vous n'avez pas le temps, vous n'avez pas la capacité d'envoyer la tâche 1 et la tâche 2, vous devez au minimum envoyer une de vos solutions, c'est-à-dire soit la tâche 1 ou soit la tâche 2 selon ce que vous aurez pu faire. Donc, au moins une solution avant le deadline.
Awesome, thank you. So now I want to go through the walkthrough on what to submit. And so if you have any questions about how to package your submission, I'll go through that now. And then if you still have more questions, I can address them.
Donc, nous allons commencer l'explication sur comment vous devez envoyer vos solutions. Mais si vous avez d'autres questions ou plus de questions entre-temps, il pourra les répondre maintenant aussi. Merci.
Yeah, so but as usual, everything that we have for the competition is on this website. It's on the PARC documentation website. And so we have a how to submit over here that you can see, all right? And I'm just going to walk through the different things that we want you to do. So I'm going to walk through this process here, but all of that information is accessible on this website.
Donc, sur le website de PARC, vous avez la capacité, c'est-à-dire le website pour la compétition Engineers League. Normalement, sur votre gauche en bas, vous pouvez avoir toutes les informations sur comment envoyer vos solutions. Et tout ça est disponible sur le website.
All right, so the first thing is this part just to show you what your solution, what your workspace is supposed to look like. All of this folders are we provided for you in your on GitHub, and we expect that your solution should be in this workspace as well. Maybe you can call it whatever you want, and then inside of it you might have your own ROS packages.
Donc, vous avez une vue, c'est-à-dire une image de comment est-ce que votre solution, ce à quoi votre solution devrait ressembler. Donc, vous avez eu la possibilité d'avoir toutes les librairies disponibles sur GitHub. Et on voudrait en fait que votre solution ressemble à ce workspace-là.
Yeah, so there are three main things to do, and then you need to make a submission, all right? So the first thing is that, as you can see here, in your workspace, in your solution folder, you need to have a README, all right? You need to prepare a README that has a particular format.
Donc, pour la soumission, c'est-à-dire l'envoi de vos solutions, vous avez différentes étapes. C'est-à-dire que là, la première étape, vous devez avoir un document que vous allez appeler README, dans lequel vous allez mettre votre solution.
All right, so we need to have that. And we provided an example. All right, so if you come here, you can see the example that we want you to use. So you will say, do have different headings, and you would provide some brief information about your team. You can write this in your native language. If you prefer French, if you prefer English, if you prefer Portuguese, whichever language you prefer to write, that is fine. But we need you to follow this template for your README.
Donc, en ce qui concerne le README, vous pouvez avoir accès à cette page qui est devant vous maintenant en cliquant sur le lien qui s'affiche sur le site web. Et vous pouvez écrire votre README solution dans le langage qui vous plaît le plus, c'est-à-dire vous pouvez l'écrire en français, comme en anglais, comme en portugais, selon votre préférence.
All right. So that's what we have here. If you have any questions about this, you can ask me right now. But this is the format that we want you to follow. All right, so that's for this, and then we'll have some description there. So in introduction section, your dependencies are any packages that you have installed and used in your solution. And then description of what method you use for task 1 and task 2, and then any challenges faced.
Donc, on a essayé de détailler en quelque sorte qu'est-ce qui devrait faire partie de votre README, c'est-à-dire votre résumé de solution. Donc, vous avez l'introduction, donc vous décrivez brièvement votre approche. Dependency, c'est-à-dire donner tous les noms des packages que vous avez utilisés lors de la création de votre solution. Ensuite, tâche numéro 1, tâche numéro 2, vous expliquez, vous décrivez en quelque sorte qu'est-ce que vous avez fait et tous les problèmes que vous avez rencontrés lors de la création de votre solution.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my lighting here to get some better light in my room. Okay, all right, maybe this is better. So yeah, so that's for number one. That's for number one. So you create this README, put it in your folder that has your solution, your ROS packages. And then the next thing to do is to include all the packages that you use in your solution in your package.xml file. Okay, so there's a guide here. If you're not aware of how to do that, please just follow this guide. The guide tells you how to do that. Okay. So let me go back in there so you can see. Yeah. So the summary here is that you should, which is standard procedure. This is a standard procedure for exporting your code to somebody else to use. You need to document all the packages that you use in your solution so that other people can download those packages when they're running your code. All right, so that's what we're asking you to do here.
Donc ensuite, après avoir quelque sorte décrit votre solution, donc, Redmi le document, vous devez en fait inclure tous vos packages, c'est-à-dire toutes les packages que vous avez utilisés pour créer votre solution, afin que lorsque quelqu'un d'autre voudra utiliser votre solution, qu'il puisse être capable de télécharger tous les packages que vous avez utilisés pour pouvoir utiliser votre solution.
All right, so that's number two. And please, if you have any questions as we're going along, please feel free to ask.
Donc, si vous avez d'autres questions, à mesure que nous avançons, sentez-vous libre d'envoyer un message dans le chat ou d'ouvrir votre micro.
All right, the third thing to do is to create simple short video demo of your solutions for task 1 and 2. All right, so this can be done by taking a screen recording of your solution. Some of you have already done that, and to send to show an issue or something like that. We want you to record your screen in your Gazebo screen when you run your solution so we can see what you expect the outcome to be. And then you need to upload that with your submission.
Donc, comme troisième étape pour l'envoi de votre solution, vous devez ajouter à votre document une courte vidéo démo de votre solution pour la tâche 1 et la tâche 2. Donc, vous pouvez juste faire une capture d'écran vidéo de votre solution dans Gazebo. Et voilà.
All right, now once you do that, once you create your folder and your README inside your folder with all your packages, and you include all the dependencies for your code, and you create your video, what you now do is that you would zip all the information in a folder and upload the folder and the video to this Google form. So let me take you to the Google form. This is the Google form. All right. It will ask you for your email, your team name, your team email. This is where you upload your software package. All right. The zipped folder with all your code and your README. And then this is where you submit, this is where you upload your simulation video, your video demo.
Donc, vous allez, après avoir créé votre document pour vos packages et votre solution et la vidéo, vous allez cliquer sur le lien qui s'affiche dans le site qui vous donnera accès à un form. Et dans le form, vous allez écrire votre email, le nom de votre équipe et l'email de votre équipe et ensuite remplir tous les documents qui vous sont demandés dans la suite. Donc, c'est-à-dire vous allez zip vos files et les envoyer dans le form.
Okay. Please, if you have any questions, ask us now. So that's the overview. Any questions? If you have any questions about the steps? for what you need to submit?
Est-ce que vous aurez d'autres questions par rapport aux étapes qui sont énumérées devant vous?
And again, like I mentioned before, because the deadline is soon, if you are only able to finish one task, that is good. That is fine. If you have limited time, you can decide I'm going to focus on task 1 and finish task 1 and submit, or I will focus on task 2, finish task 2 and submit, whichever one. If your team is able to do task 1 and task 2, that's fine. But for some people, maybe they're new to Gazebo or Ross and there's been some challenges, and you can only do one task by the deadline, which is on 19. Please feel free to do that. You can work on only one task and submit that one.
Donc, vous devez au moins submit une solution. C'est-à-dire que si vous n'avez pas le temps de terminer la tâche numéro 1, vous devez au moins avoir terminé votre tâche numéro 2, c'est-à-dire avoir au moins une solution complète pour pouvoir envoyer une solution parce que la date butoir approche. Donc, voilà.
I think we had somebody with their hands raised, but still, does somebody have a question or a comment or anything?
Est-ce que quelqu'un aurait un commentaire ou une question? Amidou, est-ce que tu peux ouvrir ton micro?
All right, nobody. Okay, I mean, we still have that. So I just completed that one part, the walkthrough on what to submit.
Sonia.
And, yep, does anybody have a question there?
Yep. For example, what you say, if the team are one solution, they can submit the solution. Does make sense? My question is that if we submit one solution, how you will correct the solution?
How will what? How will what?
How we will do the correction for the solution?
The correction. What correction?
Yeah.
I'm
The
not sure I
solution.
get your question.
So I say that how you will do the correction for one solution if we will submit one solution.
Are you talking about maybe scoring?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, scoring. Okay. All right, all right. Of only one solution instead of two. Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how it is that currently we have two tasks. Each task is, let's say, 50 points. Each task is equal weight, has equal number of points. And then for each task, we have a different way of calculating your final score. It's on the website there already. We put it there. Like this task 1, you see how we will evaluate, how we will score. And task 2 also similar. This is how we will score. All right. So if maybe one team only submits solution for task 1, then we'll only score for task 1, right? We'll only score for using this for task 1. And there will be no score for task 2. All right, or vice versa. If a team submits only task 2, we will only have that for task 2 and not task 1. Does that answer your question, or you have additional?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Donc, la question de Amidou, c'était de savoir comment est-ce que on notait comment est-ce qu'on notait les tâches numéro 1 et tâches numéro 2. Donc, si et seulement si une équipe a envoyé une seule tâche, comment est-ce qu'on allait la noter? Donc, Kiné a répondu que les tâches numéro 1 et les tâches numéro 2 sont égales, c'est-à-dire que si tu n'envoies que la tâche numéro 1, tu n'auras une note que pour la tâche numéro 1. Si tu envoies la tâche numéro 2, tu n'auras une note que pour la tâche numéro 2. Et la manière à laquelle vous serez noté est dans le site web. Donc, vous pouvez voir en fait toutes les informations qui sont nécessaires pour avoir le nombre de points le plus élevé.
Thank you. There's a question in the chat asking if the video is included in the zip folder or the separate folder. That's a good question. So let me try to answer that question. So you see how the submission is here. We have two different things to submit. So the zip folder with your code or your ROS package and other things and your README will be in one folder that you will zip and you will put here. You add here like this, you add something like that. But then the video will be a separate thing. You will come and upload here, separate. All right. So there are two separate uploads that you would do. One would be for the zip folder with all your code, all your software package. And the second one would be just your maybe MP4 file.
Donc, il y a une question qui a été posée dans le chat pour savoir comment est-ce que tous les documents sont censés être dans un zip file. Donc, Kenny vient de répondre, il a dit que normalement, vous devez avoir un zip file seulement pour votre code et toute la description de votre solution. Et sur la partie simulation et vidéo upload, vous n'aurez juste qu'à mettre la vidéo sans avoir besoin de la zip. Le seul zip code que vous aurez, zip document que vous aurez à faire, ce sera pour le téléchargement de logiciels.
Okay, hopefully that answers your question, Tifo. Hopefully that answers your question. If not, please. All right, thank you. Very good. All right, any other questions, please? Now also, let me move on here. So now, if you don't have any question, if you have other questions besides what to submit, please feel free to ask. If you have any questions relating to task 1 or task 2, or anything relating to the competition, it might be a technical question about how to do something. It might be logistics question about where, whatever it is, I don't know. Any concerns or questions, please ask. And then after that, we will, maybe this workshop might be shorter than usual. Maybe we might be able to finish earlier today. But please, I'm here to answer any questions that you have now.
Donc, si vous avez d'autres questions par rapport à la tâche 1, par rapport à la tâche 2, sentez-vous libre d'envoyer votre question dans le chat ou d'ouvrir votre micro. Donc, ça peut être des questions techniques comme des questions de logistique. Et sentez-vous libre juste d'ouvrir votre micro.
Yeah, so please go ahead. Any questions, please feel free to ask.
Est-ce que quelqu'un aurait une autre question?
Anybody, any questions? Are people facing any challenge with task 1? I know, Hamidu, you had some some issue with your localization or your positioning. And so, yeah, we had some message on Discord. Do you have anything to follow up to ask about for that?
No, so right now, we try to figure out, but if you want, I can show you our demo about the TotalBot 3 to navigate on for the environment.
No, I think you already sent that to me. I already saw it, yes.
So I said, so I have received your answer about we try to figure out a solution with the Azure robot right now. So another day we have been we have been move the Azure robot for the TotalBot 3 to do the navigation. Right now we try to do the navigation with the Azure robot.
Okay. Yeah, I think the main thing that you need to do is instead of using the odometry on the robot for position, you use GPS on the robot for position. Okay, and we have the code on the website for how you can easily do that. So that will give you precise position information.
The code to do the translation, the GPS coordinates.
Yes, yes.
Can we show us?
Oh, okay, yes, I can show you, yes.
Okay.
So this is the code here. This is the details. All right, so you will you have your GPS sensor, you can subscribe to the topic there. And you will get the GPS information, and then you can convert that to Cartesian using this GPS to Cartesian function. So everything is here. This is everything you need.
So we for our we use the C++.
You use the what?
The C++.
Oh, you're working in C++?
Exactly.
Let me see. We might have something from last year. This year, we're not supporting C++.
Exactly.
Even though you can use, but I think we have the code from last year. It might be different. So check this one. You might need to change a couple of things because this is used for ROS 1. But it can give you some idea of how to use this for ROS 2. So you might need to do a little bit of modification. But this was written for C++. And many things will be the same, actually. Most things will be the same. There'll just be a few things that are different on the ROS side. So maybe this is different. This is different. Maybe this is different. But other things will be the same. Okay? All right, so I send the links. So for other people who are maybe not familiar, what we're discussing is how to get precise position information from the robot. Okay, and what I'm recommending is that you use the GPS on the robot. All right, the robot has a GPS sensor that you can use to get precise position information. All right, and then I was just showing the code that we already provided for you to do that. This is in Python, and Hamidu was working in C++. I showed an example code from last year that was using the same thing for C++.
Donc, Kenny et Amidou discutent sur comment avoir des informations plus précises par rapport à la position du robot. Donc, ils nous recommandent en fait d'utiliser le GPS pour pouvoir avoir la position exacte du robot et pour avoir des données assez précises. Donc, vous pouvez rentrer sur le site de la compétition et vous verrez sur la partie tâche numéro 1 le code par rapport au GPS. Et ce code est en Python. Donc, Amidou disait à Kené que lui, il a utilisé C++ pour pouvoir faire son code. Donc, si vous pouvez avoir accès au lien dans le chat maintenant de l'ancien code de la compétition 2023 où la programmation était en C++ aussi. Mais comme c'était ROS 1 qui était utilisé, vous aurez à faire des modifications sur le code. Et vous pouvez toujours demander à Kenny des suggestions pour pouvoir faire la modification. Merci.
So I want to ask to Kenny, so if it's possible for you to update the code for C++.
Sorry, what is your question? Can you come again?
We would like to know if you can do the modification from ROS 1 to ROS 2 for the C++ code.
Oh, okay. No, so we're not supporting C++ for this year. You can use it, like I said, you can use it if you want, that is okay. But we are only supporting Python. So all the code that we provide to you, or like example code or anything is in Python. But for your own case, because last year we did C++, there's already some existing code that you can modify. But otherwise, I would say that you should, in this case, you might need to use, since you're using, actually, I did not know you're using C++, but that's okay. You can use C++ if you want. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, you can use C++. You can use this existing code, just modify things to to C++, to ROS2. And we will not do that on our own side because we're not supporting C++ for this year. There are many things that we need to focus on. So we decided to narrow to only Python because most people are using Python. All right, so, but it shouldn't be too difficult for you to modify if you want. And the other option will be, yeah, I think that's the main option. To get precise position information, you need to use the GPS. So I think, yeah, I think that's really the only, I'll say that's the main option that you might have.
Donc, la question de Amidou, en quelque sorte, c'était de savoir si Kenny pouvait faire convertir, c'est-à-dire le code C++ de l'année 2023 en format ROS 1 pour un format ROS 2. Et Kenny a dit que ce n'est pas possible de leur côté de faire la modification. Donc, si tu veux utiliser C++, c'est à toi de faire la modification de format, c'est-à-dire de ROS 1 à ROS 2. Et voilà, donc la seule réponse qu'il pourrait donner, c'est que vous devez utiliser le GPS pour avoir un positionnement du robot plus précis.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, if you run into any challenges, we can try to provide some support to you. If you run into challenges.
Et si tu rencontres des difficultés particulières, il pourrait quand même essayer de t'aider sur ça.
All right, there's a question in the chat about whether you're allowed to use GPS of the goal as Cartesian. I'm not sure I understand. Use GPS of the goal. Use GPS of the goal. Yeah, we're providing here GPS of the goal information, right? You are providing GPS of the goal and also how you can convert it to Cartesian, because you need it in Cartesian coordinates. So I think the answer to that question is yes, but please, if you have, maybe you can clarify what you mean so I can maybe provide more information. Maybe you can clarify the question, please. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good.
Can you explain his question? Because I don't really understand.
I think the question is, I'm actually not very sure what the question is, but I think maybe the question is asking whether they can use GPS of the goal.
Oh,
What?
oh, sir, Mr. Kenneth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, can I explain the question? I was trying to say, are we allowed to convert the GPS location of the goal and into Cartesians and use them in the code?
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's what you're asking. Yes, you have to do that actually. There's really no other way to do that. We have provided you the goal longitude and latitude in a document here, in a YAML file. And yeah, it's here. If you click here, you would see it. This is the longitude and latitude for the goal and the origin. And what you need to do is to use this code, this function here, GPS to Cartesian, to convert that to XY position. Okay. So yes, you need to do this. You need to do it. Is that clear?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
all right. And Andrea, is that clear, or do you need me to explain?
Yeah, a summary, please.
Yeah, the summary is, I think the question was just trying to clarify whether they can use this function here to convert longitude and latitude of the GPS to Cartesian, that is like X and Y with reference to some start position. And the answer to that is yes, that's what you should do.
Donc, la question de Burton était de savoir si il pouvait utiliser la fonction GPS latitude et GPS longitude pour convertir les données du GPS en données cartésiennes. Et la réponse est oui.
All right, any other questions? People have any other questions, please go ahead.
Est-ce qu'il y aurait d'autres questions?
All right, anybody else? It's almost 1 hour now. Maybe it might be a good time to wrap up if nobody else has a question, but maybe I can give any last question. Anybody has one last question or two? I mean, I'm happy to stay longer if people have some more questions to ask. So please, any more questions?
Donc, il nous reste que quelques minutes avant de terminer la session. Et il serait ravi de rester plus longtemps si vous voulez poser d'autres questions.
All right. Sorry, give me a moment. Let me wrap things up here. Stop sharing. Okay. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Does you have a question, Hamidou? Yep.
Yep. What time you gonna take to publish the qualification part? 1 month, 2
For
weeks?
which one?
Huh?
I didn't get the question.
So I ask you what time you will take to make the scoring
Ah, okay.
and publish the result.
Okay. Let me share my screen again. So that is going to be here. You can see on the screen. The deadline is June 19. We will make announcement on June 24. All right? Is that what you're asking? So by Monday, end of Monday, upper Monday, we will finish with the analysis of the data of all the solutions that come, and then we'll announce the teams that qualify for phase 2 that will go to Senegal in end of July. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good.
La question d'Amidou, c'était de savoir quand est-ce qu'il serait possible d'avoir les résultats des qualifications pour la phase numéro 2. Donc, vous pouvez rentrer dans le site web et vous aurez accès au calendrier des dates importantes. Donc, l'annonce pour la qualification de la phase 2 se fera le 24 juin 2020.
All right. All right, wonderful. Okay, so I will stop recording.